Hi, I'm Damien Tuga with ToeSalad.com. Today I'm going to be giving you a little preview of 4 new models of shoes that we've received in the last couple weeks from a company called Feelmax. This is the Kuva, I guess known as the Kuva 2. The previous version of the Kuva was made out of a man-made leather-like material on the outside that was water resistant. This version of the Kuva is now made with a water-resistant leather. They have made the shoe opening a little bit wider, which means that it's a little easier to get in and out of than the prior version of the Kuva. Another change they've made is that they have changed the design of the outsole, which is a really good thing. The outsole used to be a 2-piece outsole, which had a rubber bumper around the outside and a flat sheet that was glued in the middle, and there had been some problems with some delamination of that flat sheet. This is now just a 1-piece sole, and it's about the same thickness as before. I don't really notice much difference in thickness, and more or less the same. It's got a little bit different tread pattern, but it's very similar in design, and I can't claim anything about durability yet, as I've just started wearing these, but so far it looks to be definite improvements over the previous version. The Kuva is what I would consider a good spring and fall boot. Because the sole is thin, it doesn't have a lot of insulation, and so for extended use in cold weather doesn't really cut it from a cold standpoint, but it's very good in wet and cool conditions that you would experience in spring and fall. And the high boot, I find actually this version more flexible than the previous version of the Kuva, which is really nice. I don't notice as much ankle restriction, so it's good in that regard. And it's nice because you don't have to worry about debris getting in your shoe, so you don't have to have a gaiter or anything like that. The next model I'd like to show you is brand new, and this is called the Vasco. The Vasco is a water-resistant, breathable shoe that is for colder weather activities. It is a synthetic, water-resistant fabric on the uppers. The other thing that's different about the Vasco from any other shoe in the Feelmax line is that it is lined with a little bit thicker microfiber material. It's almost like a fleecy material, but not quite. So it's going to have more warmth, and this shoe definitely has more warmth than other ones in their line that I've tried. It also has a different outsole called the Natu Run outsole, and other shoes in the Feelmax line will be getting this outsole, I believe, but this is the first version to use this one, and it seems a little bit more robust perhaps, and it's made out of a different rubber, so I have yet to test this fully to know what I think about it, but so far it's been good. It doesn't have super grip, so I wouldn't consider this an very off-road outsole. It's fine for hard pack and trails and those kinds of things, but it's not what I would use in loose conditions on a trail. The flexibility of the Vasco is really good. Not quite as flexible as the Osma, but good nonetheless. The fit of the Vasco is also really nice. It's got a really nice big toe box. The laces are a stretch lace with a draw cord. Generally I find the fit really good. I've found though that on steep downhills, I took these on a trail run and I was going down a really steep downhill, and the lacing system and the fit, while very comfortable for rolling hills, didn't secure my foot quite good enough for the downhill, so I found my toes were jamming in the front a little bit, but that's not necessarily what this shoe is designed for. Now the Osma is actually a fairly old model for Feelmax in the sense that it's been around for a while. It's gone through a few revisions, and this is the latest revision of the Osma. What I like about the Osma, first of all, is they've definitely toned down the colors. The old ones kind of had a retros 70s look to them, and were done in bright colors or light colors like white, making them really prone to getting dirty. The version that I have here is a really nice gray color with nice kind of red burgundy highlights, so the coloring is definitely better. The other thing I like about it is the other version of the Osma had kind of a smooth nylon fabric around the ankle, and I wasn't a huge fan of that. It was also really padded and kind of puffy feeling. They've toned that down a little bit, and they've gone with the mesh all the way around. So I think I like the design better. The fit is the same. I loved the fit of the Osma in the past. And the sole is similar to the one I just described to you on the Kuva, with the one-piece rubber outsole as opposed to the previous version of the Osma being the two-piece. And as before, I've yet to see the durability, but it looks so far to be a really good shoe. In terms of flexibility, we can do the roll test on the Osma. The Osma is a very flexible shoe. In my limited testing of this shoe, one little complaint I have is that the tongue is not secured along the edges, so I find that when I put my foot into the shoe, I'm constantly having to adjust the edges of the tongue because it might be folding over or getting wrinkled or something like that. It's not a big deal, but it's something that I've noticed with this shoe. Other than that, so far in my limited testing, it's been good. Being that we now have a lot of snow on the ground, these won't be getting a lot of outdoor use. However, they've actually started to become my indoor slipper because cold floors can be, well, cold, and these are really nice and light and comfortable, and so I've been wearing them around as slippers. The Nisa that we have here is the same color scheme as the Osma. The gray actually may be a slightly lighter color gray, but generally it's the same. These ones are size for my wife, and she's been wearing them. The difference between one of the big differences between the Nisa and the Osma is that, well, the Nisa has got a simple Velcro closure, and the other difference is the sole. The original Feelmax outsole was actually made out of a cloth that was Kevlar reinforced, and so it was really thin, really light. The durability of that was problematic over the long term, so then they changed to a rubberized fabric. So the Nisa follows that trend by using a really nice thin rubberized fabric for the sole. So this is about as close to barefoot as you can get without being completely barefoot. Very thin, very flexible, and very comfortable. So my wife has been, again, this is winter time, been using these around the house as her slippers and absolutely loves them. Some of you out there might be wondering what the weight of these shoes are. So I brought my scale out here. The Vasco, which is a men's size 43, weighs 7.7 ounces for one shoe, which if I convert that to grams is 218 grams. The Osma, which is a size, I think this one's a size 44, weighs 160 grams, which if I convert the units is 5.6 ounces. The Kuva, which I also have in a size 44, weighs 12.8 ounces, which converted to grams is 364 grams. And the Nisa, which is a woman's size 40, is 80 grams, which is, in ounces, 2.8 ounces. There you have it. That's our preview of the new Feelmax lineup coming for 2013, actually, well, available now. That is the Kuva, the Vasco, the Osma, and the Nisa. And they cover a wide range from the ultralight to the cold and wet. And I think it's a solid lineup, and I look forward to testing them over the coming months. Thank you.